Hello Disney Infinity Trainers, welcome back to my series Let's Build a Toy Box here on iStarlyTV. Today we are continuing working on our cross-country toy box. This is our cross-country racing course, intended to be raced on foot. So today we're going to finish working on the terrain, the basic terrain of the race course, and we're also going to add plants, trees, and other decorations to kind of complete it to the best of our ability. Now, I think a good place to start is actually going to be with the plants. I want to do that just to kind of see, we might be able to kind of use plants and decorations to close off certain areas where we won't end up needing to put terrain, so that's going to be pretty useful. So we're going to want to set some themes for our plants and also for our bushes and things, for our trees. Now, we want to choose plants that look like they would fit in this type of environment. This type of environment to me looks like a kind of, not really a forest, more like a kind of park, I guess, where it's kind of humid, it's kind of arid and dry, but there's also a lot of vegetation. It's not exactly a desert. So this type of tree looks like it could work. We're going to want a lot of foliage for sure. I really like these a lot. These are some of my favorite pieces in Disney Infinity. So I'm going to want to try to add some of these. And I think the clock topiary is going to be a great addition here because we're running a race, you know? So we're definitely going to want to be reminded that we are being timed here. It's a race against the clock. I'll just kind of put them spread out here at different intervals so that they're not too close to one another, but that they're also not too spread out, I suppose. And this one can go near the waterfall. Don't go chasing waterfalls, by the way. Listen to the rhythm and the legs like you're used to. Alright, so this one, I think this one's going to be a neat little reminder that you're playing Disney Infinity, so we'll put this one right here. I'm going to need to put more terrain there, for sure, but let's see. We could probably afford to put this one like right here so that it's a little emblem kind of thing. I like the animal ones. I'll save those for that area. I think that'll be pretty nice. And then we have the twisties, the Mickey Mouse one. This is also one of my favorites. I'm gonna line it this way. I'm gonna go like this. We're gonna decorate it like that. So what I'm gonna do is I think it might be nice to kind of line this lake with Mickey Mouse topiaries. I think that's how you say it. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed this part up so you don't have to watch the tedium of me placing these. I like that. I really like that. I don't know. I'm a big Disney fan, so, you know, just kind of running down here and seeing these different decorations, I think that's pretty neat. I enjoy that. Alright, we're trying to line this. I said I wanted to keep the view, to at least preserve the view to some extent. We're going to try to see if we can go about doing that. This one I can put behind and you can't really tell as you're running that it is behind, so I think I like that. Let's go ahead and see. No, Dash! It's so hard to run with him. Okay. I just basically made it harder for myself because now I have to run a little more. So coming this way, I think that looks good. I do think that looks good. The trees kind of cover it up to make it look as though it's not exactly a straight line, and then you can still see the view from there. So pretty decent, I'd say. There are probably better ways to do it, and I will try my best to optimize them, but for right now, I think that it's sufficient. So this one here, I like this little piece right there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mirror it and flip it around and post it back there. There is a tree in our way, so we're going to go ahead and move that out of the way first. And let's see, that, sorry. And we're going to move it behind. so that it adds some symmetry, which as you probably know, I love. And it also looks, so if you're looking back, it looks pretty natural there as well. So good stuff. And then I actually like that giant tree in the background. I think I like the way that that one looks. So let's see. Yeah, that actually looks decent. This piece right here, though, you know, we don't need a light pole here. Our races are going to be taking place pretty much exclusively in the morning, and so we're not going to need lights. That's not the best logic. That's like logic for saving money for building this park. Oh, well, the races are only going to take place in the morning, so we don't need to invest in lights. I would be a terrible park manager. Alright, so let's go ahead and lay out some of these. Some of these, like SpongeBob would say. Alright, see, look how much more beautiful things look when you add just a couple trees. I like that. So, whoop, you're not supposed to be back there, Dash. It's off limits. So this area right here is all taken care of pretty well. Again, that line along there behind the bowl was what I'm calling it, along the bridge. I'm going to need to work on that, but for the most part, this area definitely looks good. I'm really liking it. Maybe that part right here is also kind of awkward. Maybe I could kind of put some, put some more terrain to kind of bridge this gap. I think I might go ahead and do that right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah, we'll kind of edge it off like that and see how that looks. Alright, cool. So now it's connected. So now, you know, you're feeling more connected with it. I'll probably go ahead and move some more trees this way. Let's go ahead and do that now. Because it'll, again, discourage you from straying off the path and kind of cutting across that way. That's cheating. Dash is not a cheater. I like this piece. So that can't work. That looks fine. Alright. Decent. Not bad. I'm also going to, as I said before, I am going to find other textures. There are plenty of textures for the trees, but I'm going to find the ones that I think look to suit this the best. For right now, these look nice, but I'm going to kind of spread these out. These are the default ones, and then I'm going to add ones from other kind of themes so that we have different types of trees in our toy box. I like the way that looks. I definitely do. I don't like the way this looks. Although, if worse comes to worse, there is a way that this can work, I guess. I mean, I have driven down stretches of land in real life where, you know, there's just like a big wall or like a dam or something, so we could kind of make an argument for this working, but I think overall I don't want that to have to work, so we're going to want to add as much as possible. Let's add some more terrain here as well, though. Kind of flopping back and forth between adding terrain and adding trees, but the terrain is, I think, really going to help this toy box look as realistic as possible. So we want to optimize that for sure. Alright, so that is a terrain piece right there. And that one works as well. Actually, just going to go ahead and close that off too. Alright, sure. So that looks a little more realistic as far as, you know, nature and scenic views go. Again, it's the wall is ugly, but we're gonna work on that. We should probably bridge this gap too. Toy box building is all about bridging the gap. That's what we're doing. We're making friends, we're bridging the gap. Figuratively speaking. Just do me a favor and don't look this way when you're running. When you're running on this part, don't look right here, okay? Because there's a little gap right there. But otherwise, that looks fine. Actually, you know, there are other terrain pieces that we can use. Because the fact that these are just blocks, that's not natural at all. That's the exact opposite of natural. So there are some other pieces, I think, that can make this look pretty interesting and unique as far as landscapes go. So something like this, you know, this looks decent. And I plan to use this. I think this could look nice. Something that looks more natural is something like this, I think. Sure, we'll go with this one then. Yeah, because if you're looking from that side, it doesn't look strange. And then these are gonna have to be used, I think, to close it off, maybe. Not exactly. We'll work on that part when we need to. There's always going to be something that's going to need fixing. That's the downside to this kind of really obscure and abstractly shaped track. We'll put some trees right here. Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's put some trees right here to kind of cover this up. Okay, I really like this park bench with street lamps. I know I said I didn't want to invest in street lamps. However, I think that this is kind of neat. It adds to the element that this is kind of a park and a cross-country course rather than just, you know, a random scenic view. So we can add some benches. That kind of might look interesting. I don't know, would I want to put a bench here? Is that kind of weird? That's probably pretty weird. Yeah, we won't. I'll put a bench there. It'll be random. A bench. I don't know why I said it like that. Alright. There was another terrain piece that I liked. And I think it was the Dragon's Domain? The Endor terrain is also pretty good. Let's take a look at the Dragon's Domain. This looks pretty good as well. I definitely like this. It's very natural. But these are both different options that we have here. I'll go ahead and put some bushes here. I think that can help. Although, do these really conflict with the Mickey ones? I wouldn't say so exactly. I mean, kind of reminds me of Disneyland. You know, Disneyland has a big mix of plant life. It has some really cool Disney-looking hedges, and it also has some kind of wild-looking bushes, so I love me some Disneyland. Let's see. Alright, yeah, that looks very natural, and it makes it so that you're not going to want to go straight that way. It informs you that you need to go along this way. Good stuff. So let's take a look for some other terrain themes so we can kind of decorate this side. Oh, I like this one. Because of you, I find it hard to trust not only me, but everyone around me. Okay, this one. Sure, this one works, and this is actually the terrain theme that matches the actual terrain theme that we're going with, so that's kind of cool that it fits together so nicely. And also the fact that these are so tall is also pretty helpful because it means that we can kind of stack these and make it look kind of natural and not wonder kind of, you know, what we're trying to cover, what we're trying to hide. Cool, good stuff. And I'll put this one here just for good measure. It won't fit. Okay, it'll fit there, so we'll do that. Let's take a look. Alright, so that does do a little bit of covering, which I enjoy and I admire. It means that when you're running alongside this way, you're not going to be tempted to go this way and go, look what the intricacies of this toy box are revealing. I'll probably still do something there. Maybe I'll put some cliffs along the edge there to make it look a little bit more scenic. But we're coming along pretty nicely here. Not sure if I'm making this bowl uglier here. I could very well be. But I also could be making it prettier. Now, what's your favorite cereal? Comment below what your favorite crispy cereal is. I'm actually getting hungry just thinking about it. My favorite cereal, it changes a lot. I really have always loved Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The taste you can see. And Raisin Bran is another cereal that's the opposite, like the complete opposite of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. However, it's so good. I've always thought Raisin Bran was so good. Pretty random, I know. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement the logic like I said I would. I don't want this video to take too long. And we're going to go ahead and finish this. I'll see you over at the starting line. So here is the logic that I'm going to be needing, or at least that I think I'm going to be needing for this race. So we're going to spawn over here. And actually I should have put a button here, an action button. And basically you're going to press the action button when you're ready to start the race. And from there, the action button will trigger the challenge maker, which will start the challenge, and I'll show you the starting locations for each. It's pretty straightforward. Maybe I'll implement a podium of some sorts as well, but basically each person has their own timer. I think that's how it'll go. And I wonder if you could do splits. No, I think doing an individual timer will probably be best. So when you start, you might be able to fit 4 people actually. Okay, that could work. I mean, if Hulkbuster were racing, he definitely would be, you know, larger than life. So maybe I don't need to stagger it. By staggering it, what I mean is that, you know, some of them, I would put a locator right here, which is a little closer to the racing gate, but you have to kind of run diagonally first. And then I would put the other 2 kind of in the middle here, but a little further back, because all they have to do is run straight forward. And then the same thing for this one, it would be kind of closer to the racing gate because you have to run diagonally. But it looks like this could work. So we're going to have 4 locators here. I'm going to delete the ones that I spawned over here. And basically this is the starting line, this is the finish line. So when you cross this starting gate, your time starts. When you cross this starting gate, your time stops. So player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go press button, start the challenge. And then we're going to do locator connection. And player 1. Maybe we could try it where they all start on the same, but no, it's fine if they're spread out. It makes it more like cross country. Then this will be player 2's location. And then, of course, player 3, then player 4. Alright, so we all start there. Next, what we're going to do is so this is for player 1, so we go when this is crossed by player 1, player 1's stopwatch begins. And we'll have to do that for all of them. Alright, so we have all of that, so when each player crosses this, their timer will begin. And this is important. What we're going to do is we are going to do this. We're going to do countdown from target time off. We don't want this counting down, we want it counting upward. And the target time, I wonder if you can set it for any? I'll just go ahead and do... So it took Black Panther about 4 minutes, that's about 240 seconds. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I will say 500 seconds is the target time. I'm not sure if you need to input a value for this if you do off for countdown, but we do want the visible display. That's important. We want each player to be able to see what their time is. And then we're going to do properties and the same thing here. So again, I'm not sure if this is absolutely required, but I'm going to do it anyways. 500. And then what we're going to do is when we cross this one, this is the finish line. So when you cross this one, then of course your time stops. So when it's crossed by player 1, pause. Crossed by player 2, pause. Okay, so those are linked. Now what we're also going to want to do is, again, when this is crossed, we're going to want to turn off the challenge maker for that respective player. But let's do it instead of making it so that when this is crossed, let's instead make it so that when this turns off. Let's see if that can work. So we're going to go logic connection, and we're going to go when this is paused. This is player 1's. Log player 1 completion. And again, we're going to do that for the rest. That will indicate that each of these players is done. And I think what I'm going to do for the final, for the end of it, is I'm going to hook these 4 up to a logic AND connection. And so when each of these are completed, then we will end the race. So the whole challenge will be completed. So I'm going to set that up as well. So here's the logic AND. This allows us to add multiple inputs so that when all 4 of them are completed, then we can, of course, end the game. So when this is completed, we are going to complete the game. So that'll mark the end. And again, what we're going to do is when this is paused, going to input. We're going to do that for all of them. One last thing that I forgot to set for the challenge maker is the properties. So we're going to take a look at those. The results score label is going to be time. The rank order is going to be low to high. The start location is separate. The end location will be the current location for now. Use end location on abort. No, we won't do that. So if you quit, then you just stay where you are. Quit Toybox game when ended. We will say no. Game start countdown, yes. So it'll go 3, 2, 1. That's like a standard cross-country race. Challenge type. Can we do start on foot? Yes, that's important. Just want to see. And then we can come up with a title. We'll call this one the iStarly Invitational. So in cross-country races, there are events called invitationals, and those are very, very large cross-country races where many different schools attend, many different teams, and you can expect the competition to be very high, so this will definitely be a high-stakes game. Invitational. Nice. And we're going to say race against the clock. Running only. No super jumping or flying. Perfect. So it looks like we're good to go here. I'm really, really liking the way it looks now. I'm proud of it, actually. It's fun that I made it a game. We will save it as a Toybox game and then probably upload it. Now, in the next episode of Let's Build a Toybox, which will be coming soon, I'm actually going to be building an arena for the finals of the Disney Infinity Games. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. The arena is going to be like nothing we've ever done before, and it's going to just be great. I'm looking forward to it, so stay tuned for that. We will be returning to the cross-country one afterwards, maybe if I discover the ways to kind of make the logic as good as it can be, I guess. But I am really liking this. Please let me know if you enjoyed, and also please feel free to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this content. Also share it with your friends if they will enjoy. And I'll see you next time on iStarlyTV. Have a good day.